Hey, what's going on? Ryan here with Intersection Records and reviewing the brand new debut album by Jacob Roberge called The Passing. This is a debut record. Jacob's like a 26, 27-year-old guy, multi-instrumentalist, singer, songwriter, composer. He's from Canada, from Quebec City. And this album is, if you like progressive rock, like I do, it's as good as it gets, and it's going to be very highly rated. Came out on January 31st. I'm certainly not the first person to review this. In fact, I am embarrassed to just had found out about this record about a week ago. It is it's truly great. He plays keyboards, he sings, he plays guitar, he does some programming, some symphonic stuff. He's absolutely supported by William Gabori on guitar, who also plays bass. By the way, Roberge plays bass too, one of his primary instruments. I think he says he's first a keyboard player, then a bass player. But Gabori plays guitar, bass, keyboards, programming as well. So it's a two-headed monster, it seems to be. It's a 6-song album dealing in the 5 stages of grief. In fact, the last song, The Passing, which is a 32-minute epic, deals in itself with the 5 stages of grief, which are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. This is a stunning record, and we're going to get right into it again. The Passing, the debut album from Canadian prog rocker Jacob Roberge. The Long Way Home is the opening track. You know, it opens up with this gorgeous piano playing, bordering on classical. Jacob can sing really well. You know, Jacob says that, you know, he was kind of into hard rock as a teenager, found some Rush, found some classic progressive rock in his teens, but then finally found Neil Morse and Steven Wilson in his 20s, and that's when his prog journey really took off. This album has been a work in progress for 10 years, and it sounds like it. But I'll say this about his singing. I like his singing better than I like Neil Morse's singing. It's every bit as good as Steven Wilson's voice. Sometimes I have problems with some of the stuff that Neil Morse does because of the singing and because of the way that the vocals are produced. This guy sings better than his influences, in my opinion. His drumming kicks in on this opening track at the 1 minute and 40-second mark. He's a great drummer. I even saw people questioning whether they're programmed drums or some sort of electric drums. It sounds like a real kit to me. There's lots of symphony going on. There's melodic bass running going on. You know, it's just kind of magical for a debut album. Where did this come from? Perfect opener. You're hooked immediately. They go back and reset with the piano. Then it builds again into a beast. Scorching guitar solo at the end. Just an awesome song, The Long Way Home. The second song, Empty Traces Part 1. Piano drips again with this luxurious, soothing ear candy. Again, the vocals are smart and good and melodic and again soothing as well. Gives way to guitar and symphony. And I'm going to say symphony a lot. I'm assuming it's all done with keyboards. Of course it is. It dissipates into this Pink Floyd-like styling. I mean, Gabori's guitar playing, you know, I don't want to compare it to anybody, but he can go as fast as you can imagine. He can do the David Gilmour thing really well, but he plays faster a lot of the time. Just a virtuoso style playing at parts of the second song, Empty Traces Part 1. Garden of Souls is the next, and really from the Garden of Souls on, album really takes off. And there's nothing wrong with the first 2 tracks, but Garden of Souls, drums, it's more of a drum beat opening as opposed to the piano-led songs of earlier songs. Drums and symphony gets a little darker, but there's shade. It's dark and shade like we like in our progressive rock, like we like in anything. Think of Physical Graffiti. Dreamy keys, 70s tones, but not overdone. It never feels contrived. It never feels forced. Hey, we're gonna get this keyboard sound. It just works perfectly. Vocal harmonies. The drama's building. There's a little bit of trumpet by Remy Cormier. Then the drama builds hard, and then it falls away back into this harmony thing with some dreaminess, and then gets heavy again. There's some really nice acoustic guitar playing. I'm guessing that's Gabari as opposed to Roberge. Really just awesome song. Pet recurs next. It's a 10-minute song. More mid-paced song. More of a story song where he can follow through some vocal passages. It really starts building though at the 5 1/4 mark. More 70s style keyboards. Drama's building. Pretty damn cool song. Empty Traces 2 is next. Gabari shines on guitar on this song. It's ripping some solo lines. I hear some Styx influence, and I watched some interviews with Roberge. Styx was an influence, and as an American, we look to Europe for our prog rock, right? Well, there was some great progressive rock in the late 70s with Kansas and Styx and people like that. A simple song structure, but it's really effective on 5. And then that's going to give way to the epic 32-minute The Passing. Again, he's been working on this album for 10 years, and he's left no stone unturned. The opening 3 minutes is a journey in itself, and really the opening, the overture to open this kind of 6-part song is 8 minutes and 32 seconds alone. But that opening passages shows you themes that they've already hit throughout the album. Just like any great overture or any great big progressive rock album might do, is you might go get little pieces of the album, put it in one little structure. Again, we're dealing with Denial. Has its own section starting at the 8-minute mark or 8.5-minute mark. Then Anger kind of hits you at the 11-minute mark. Bargaining, Depression, and Acceptance. Those are the 5 stages of grief. Progressive rock at its best. Vocals don't even kick in until 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Gabari explodes with brilliant guitar runs. Math rock territory at points where it's so fast, and the drums are syncopated with it, and everything's going at the same time that it almost goes beyond the spectrum that you can understand it. Yet still works, and it comes back and soothes you down, cools you off before exploding again. It's hard to make an ambitious project like this work. When you're talking about 32-minute epics, there's a lot of places where you could fall, and Roberge does, and he pulls this off. The Anger section is amazing. At the 11-minute mark, furious guitars and keys, more twists and turns, blistering moments at times. This album is rounded out by Marjorie Borg on violin, Julian Sino on cello, again William Gabari, Remy Cormier on horns, and then of course the great Jacob Roberge. I can't tell you about this anymore. This is as good as progressive rock gets in the new millennium. I am going to give this a 4.75 out of 5 stars. This is as high as I can rank an album. Check out my channel. We talk about great music every day. Peace out. Check out The Passing by Jacob Roberge. See ya.